today's video, it's so funny because the other night, I think it was on Friday night, I had woke up in the middle of the night and God has said, I will restore what has been lost. And I said, okay, Lord, is this the message that you want me to bring to your people? And he said, yes. He says, look at Isaiah. So I got up, I did a little bit of research, and the scripture in Isaiah that I wanted to bring to your attention, if you guys look at Isaiah 61 and 7, God says, God can and will restore what has been lost. So I had to read the story behind it so I can become familiar with it. So I wrote down a couple of things that I want to read to you guys so we can understand what happened in Israel, okay? So Israel had been repeatedly unfaithful to God, turning to idolatry and sin. And as a result, God allowed the nation to be invaded and conquered. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but I'm just going to say it anyway. But it says that the Assyrian and the Babylonian empires defeated Israel, and the people were taken into captivity. The Israelites experienced immense suffering and shame. They were displaced from their land, their temple was destroyed, and they felt abandoned by God. Okay, so this is where the promise of restoration comes in. And this is what God did. God's covenant with Israel remains intact. Through the prophets, God assured them that their suffering would not last forever. God promised that one day he would bring them back to their land, restore their fortunes, and bless them even more abundantly than before. That's amazing. I want you guys to kind of read that scripture and just kind of look at it and compare it to your own life and your own struggles. First one that God wanted me to mention, God says he can restore broken marriages. It says through counseling and prayer, he will restore the love and the communication, rebuilding trust. In the scripture, I'll leave it right here. He wants you guys to read Zechariah 1 and 17, and it says this, I will restore your fortunes and have compassion on all of your distress. The second thing that God is restoring in this season is restoration after addiction. Whatever addiction that you might be struggling with, God is saying, I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. And the scripture to reference for that is Joel 2:25. God is restoring your health. You will regain strength, experiencing a complete recovery. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And the scripture for that is Psalm 147 and 3. The last thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is God is restoring a financial loss. So whether if you lost a job, if you're just going through, financial struggles, living check to check, God is saying he is restoring that for you. Okay? But this is what God is saying. God is saying by trusting in him, God can restore not only financial provision, but also hope and resilience. The scripture for that I want you guys to read is 2 Corinthians 9 and 11. You will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous in every occasion. At first, I was going to bring you guys this message tomorrow, but God is saying, work through what you're struggling with and speak to my people because they need to hear this message. And I'm so glad God pushed me to do this video on here. Even though I'm struggling with my own stuff, God is saying, take yourself out of it and speak to my people. So I hope and pray, you guys, that this message blesses you. If you guys need to look at the video again and just kind of read through those scriptures, but in this season, He is restoring what was lost, whether you're dealing with a financial struggle, if you're having issues with your health, if you're having issues in your marriage or in your relationship, if you're struggling with, just life itself, read that scripture, Isaiah 61 and 7. God can and will restore what is lost in this season. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.